Did he just shout "or skips"?
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Howson's Brew. I've not got a fucking brew.
You've got loads of guests.
I do have loads of guests, starting from your right, my left. We have Jay Motty from Full Time Devils. Woo!
Go on, Jay, lad.
We have that fucking presenter from the Late Night Live Show, also known as Joe Smith.
Thank you.
And we have Ryan.
All right.
And, of course, Stephen Howson.
Oh, and me.
Yeah. Lovely to see you again, Stephen.
Hope everyone's well. Hope you got a brew. We went with Bruno.
Oh.
Brew, because we got Bruno and
also you've got no brew.
And I've got no...
So
yeah,
it
Bruno.
works perfectly,
it works on every level here, doesn't it? Get your questions in and all that sort of stuff, and maybe we'll answer some of them. If you want to take us off topic, definitely do that. I'll ask you, Jay, seeing as though you're over here, is Bruno Fernandes the best player in the Premier League as of next week when he arrives?
Obviously.
There we go.
I've rated him.
Clip that up at 28 seconds.
At least the last... When did we first get linked with him?
Summer.
Since the summer. He's been one of the best players I've ever seen.
When it was bollocks.
Yeah.
Interestingly.
I've loved all his work at Sporting Lisbon. Yeah.
Everything is done.
And Portugal. Portugal.
Forget Ronaldo.
As a whole.
Bruno Fernandes is the future. I mean, his stats are good. He looks good on bits of paper.
They are good stats.
Yet to see
they are good
the
stats.
flesh or on a football pitch, but his stats are very good.
What do you reckon, Ryan?
He'd be right, I reckon.
You're still on a sugar high from that mocha, aren't you?
Yeah, it's gone straight to me.
And then 2 extra sugars in it.
Well, I don't know if it was 2 or not, because I probably used the last little bit of the sugar.
It was just pouring it in straight from the jar.
Which is why I've not got a brew.
So apologies there, Steve.
Yeah.
My mocha was delicious, though. So
that's good.
What are you drinking?
Just a black coffee.
Just a black coffee, yeah.
Posh. How's that posh? That's the least posh. It's adding nothing to it.
Is there any fear that Bruno Fernandes could be an absolute flop?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Possibly.
I mean, right. Does anyone actually sit in here, look at his stats and see that he was a part of 52 goals last season? Does anyone have any sort of danger that he's going to get anything like that?
I've seen a few compilations of him, which is all you can ask of a fan. I've seen a few compilations. There are a lot of sort of what you might call questionable goalkeeping decisions that led to a few of his goals. Do you know sometimes where you think when you play like a Portuguese team in Europa League, the team looks good, but when you watch highlights of the league, every single goal is just 4 people streaking through the defence. There's no defence. The goalkeepers are diving the wrong way and stuff. There's a bit of that going.
Benny Hill music.
Yeah.
Streaking.
It's a bit Benny. Yeah.
The guy's streaking.
Everyone's naked. But it's just
it's warmer.
I can imagine some of the shots that go in won't go in, but that's ridiculous numbers, isn't it?
You need to get way closer to your mic.
And it's not like there's 20 people in Portugal with 25 goals and 20 assists.
There is not.
He's standout even in that league, so surely he's decent.
That's it. If Andreas Pereira was teleported or flew, or drove to Portugal, are you getting 52 goals a year out of him?
Is that the benchmark, though?
Maybe conceded.
No, I'm just asking you a question.
Right.
I'm not saying that if you either get 52 goals or you don't.
My only
obviously shades are great.
Bruno Fernandes is, right. I've been watching United a little bit lately. We're not that good.
Well, Man United.
That's a bold shout.
Right.
It's right.
And we seem to be the only team that's really going for him. Why is no one else going for him if he's that good?
Good-looking question.
Does anyone else...
Well, again, though, did they? Was that how much is it? Oh, he's 60 million. No, not for us.
Is that not just Tottenham all over?
Yeah, that's what I mean, though. Again, though, Spurs, where are they in the league? Why is no one... And there's lots of clubs in Europe that aren't the forces they once were, who you would think were crying out for someone who can bring 50-odd goals or whatever, assists to their team. So why have United almost, apart from the sort of passing interest by Spurs, got a free run at this guy?
Well, I think it's a mixture of... It seems, do you know when sometimes you go to a market and people are grabbing you, buy this jewellery, buy this necklace, buy this ornamental light or whatever. They're selling you it. No. I feel like his agents are doing that to United. We're walking through and they're buy him. He wants to go. We need money. Buy him. It feels like they're selling their player.
I think it's a really good point.
But also, when you talk about former big clubs that need good players, look what Inter are doing. They've got Sanchez from us, Pogba, Lukaku from us. Look like they're getting Ashley Young from us, and they're near the top of the league. But yeah, I agree with all that. But
one thing that really worries me this season, and I don't mean to bring the Brew to a downer already, is that there's a good chance an English club is going to win the Champions League. And it obviously ain't going to be us.
Don't you put that evil on me.
Sorry. I'm sorry to say that. I'm sorry. But the reason there's a good chance of it is there's no European team that are like miles above anyone else in this country. So if this guy's so good, I don't know. I'm not, obviously, as I said earlier, I've only seen him on bits of paper. I don't know how good he is, but it's slightly odd to me that a Real Madrid, a Barcelona, or someone of that ilk have gone. And it's not exactly difficult for Barca to go, you know what, we'll take 50, 60 million quid punt on this guy who's just smashing it to bits in Portugal.
Other clubs might be a bit hesitant because obviously the season he had last season, where I think he had like 50 goal involvements, and then this season he smashed it again. Might be a bit hesitant to be like, well, he's not going to reach them numbers again. He's already had his best season now.
Stats-wise, he's 11 goals, 10 assists. This was before yesterday's game, by the way.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, in two shots. I think he had 2 shots on target.
I was like,
scored 2 goals.
I wasn't denying it.
I saw one of them on the telly, on YouTube.
A bit on the filthy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Needed a shower after it.
It was like, okay, that's ridiculous. But again,
up until that game where he scored 2. Okay, so we can do these maths. Let's do these maths, everybody. So that would be 20 starts, 13 goals, and it was 10 assists. So that's not bad, is it?
Decent, that.
That's all right.
The maths
from midfield,
not bad.
Yeah, the maths is. It's definitely in the not bad bracket.
If he does half of that for us, we'll be buzzing.
Maybe he does a quarter of that.
Yeah.
That's not bad because that puts you on track for 10 goals, 10 assists for the season. Which from midfield,
especially
that's fucking great.
Like a number 8, if that's where he does play. Well, I think at the minute he'd probably come in at 10, wouldn't he? Because we ain't got any. But long term,
he strikes me as the player that Pereira thinks he is.
Oh.
And I do like Andres Pereira.
From my little assessment of him, I'm thinking he's actually a preemptive replacement for Pogba. That's what I think he is.
That makes sense.
They'll probably play together at some point because Pogba's going to need games, and if you buy a shiny thing, the shiny thing plays. So you probably find a way to have to play them together. But I think he's Pogba's replacement.
Is that not sort of... Again, I don't want to be Mr. Negative here, and I feel like I am. Apologies. But is that not almost like... In a way, we're going to be weaker in this season than we are now?
I think if that's the only midfielder we get, then that might be the case.
Yeah, that's a fair comment.
Three players, then overall we could have sort of.
Well, what if we have five incoming between now and the end of summer? That'll be all right.
I mean, I get that Pogba's not playing, so someone playing is better than Pogba not playing. But my point is, is he as good as Pogba? Probably not. So if he's Pogba's replacement, you're sort of getting rid of arguably your best player and bringing in someone who's not quite as good as him.
But what if he isn't as good as Pogba in terms of a player? But what if he's... Because, you wouldn't have said, on the face of things, anyone that Liverpool brought in and around about where Coutinho was a better footballer.
No, that's a good point.
But if they're a better fit for the system and the team... then the team is better. That's what I'm hoping we get out of this. That we go, actually, yes, he's moved on, but we bring in X and Y, and that makes our football team better. Together they make us better, but individually, none of them stack up to Pogba's abilities.
Like Moneyball.
I was literally watching Moneyball last night. I was just going to mention that.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Just his underpants.
Because we've seen Pogba as well.
It's got Brad Pitt in it.
He's always been cursed by his own versatility. We've seen him play at 6. He can't really do it, but he's done it. We've seen him play at 8. We've seen him play at 10. He almost doesn't have a single position that he's definitely going to play. Whereas if we get someone like Grealish in, or Maddison, or whoever, they're probably going to play at 10. Fernandes is going to play at 8. It might just be better having players that don't get injured playing in a position they know they're going to play for 35 games a season. Do
you think this could be the end of 2 holding midfielders long term? Because that seems to be a staple now, doesn't it, for us? No, one. But I think are we always going to have 2 holding midfielders?
I think if we buy a holding midfielder and that can do it by themselves, then maybe. But I don't think we have one in the club at the minute.
I love 4-3-3, and I think Bruno Fernandes as a number 8, which is where I think you get the best Bruno Fernandes with someone else alongside him, is better for Manchester United. I think our issues are getting the ball to a 10 or a striker right now. So if you just buy Bruno Fernandes and go stand in the number 10 position, we'll just look as lost as Jesse Lingard does.
Yeah.
Because he's just not going to get the ball. Our issue is moving it through that middle third. So for me, I want to see him either played, and this is probably going to clip his wings, you either play him alongside McTominay on the baseline 6, or you play a midfield 3, and he's one a bit like Pogba, where he's allowed to just do what he wants a little bit and freed up from that defensive responsibility by having like a turbo-aggressive Niguez or someone alongside a McTominay. And that's what you want. And then that team can play. And I think it gives you potential flexibility. If you've got a Fred and it's a team that's going to sit back, really defend deep, you play Fred alongside Fernandes. It's a little bit more lightweight, but it moves the ball nice. Yeah, a bit like what you get with Silva and De Bruyne. Probably not as good. Or you have, or better.
Yeah.
Right, and then you have.
That's going to get clips up.
Yeah,
they're not joking.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, or against a team that's likely to hit you a bit harder, you move them into a 10. And you go with maybe a Niguez and a McTominay, someone that's a bit more meaty in the centre. I think you've got options if you have multiple. Because I think you can still make the case that you have to sign 3. Boom.
Yeah.
I can easily sit here now and convince everybody that Grealish, Fernandes, and Niguez, because he's just the one that we're linked to currently, would improve our midfield, and all 3 would play a part.
And you sell Pogba and sell one of Lingard or Andreas maybe.
It looks like Lingard with the Raiola thing. Andreas, because of his flexibility, I'd keep around because he's not
he
on a lot.
He can play in all 3 of those positions.
And left or right wing in a
is this lad? Sorry to go backwards a little bit. Is Fernandes a dead ball specialist?
Is he?
Yeah.
So, yeah. You know, you're chuckling now, but he didn't have it on. He didn't have it on the bit of paper that I read about him.
Yeah,
he didn't. Yeah, right.
I don't know about that.
So is he taking the ball off Marcus and Fred?
Maybe. I'd say definitely take it off Fred.
Yeah, Marcus.
I love Fred standing over free kicks, though.
It's it gives you the hope, doesn't it?
Do you know what I mean? It shows no matter what life throws at you, just keep going.
But yeah, I think Bruno Fernandes makes a lot of sense.
And he can I know it sounds stupid to say, but he can definitely pass the ball, which is something we don't really have many of.
I think he's early. Do you know what I saw someone, I think it was on the news this morning, someone said to Casey, is he going to get as much time on the ball as he gets in Portugal? 1, no.
Of course.
2, he doesn't actually dwell on the ball. If you look at Paul Pogba does like an extra touch and an extra way to beat a man and stuff like that. What I saw from Bruno Fernandes is he plays it early. He likes that early ball. He likes an early through ball. He likes an early long ball. He definitely likes an early shot.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, Andres Pereira, when he wakes up in the morning, he's like, we're scoring 340 yarders in training today, our kid. Let's do it. High five myself on the way out. Well, yeah, that's what Bruno Fernandes does. But he scores them.
So are we all agreed then that it's definitely not happening, this transfer?
I mean, if there is anyone that he's going to mess it up, we know who it's going to be. I'm not saying his name because
I think we've got a good. I think there's a chance. I do think there's a good chance. I think.
Not really.
Well, no, but I mean, like, I honestly no. I think the only thing
controversial.
Do United want him or not is the only thing that's stopping it. Obviously, there's a chance of it happening, but I think he obviously wants to come. Sporting need to sell players. They're like pushing him through the door at Carrington, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think it's literally they were talking about a fee isn't decided.
But was there not
short word.
I don't know if any of you guys know it. You might not stay. Was there any truth in this sort of story that started coming out in the summer that we didn't get him because we had doubts about his ability? Or was that nonsense? Because there's some sort of rumours coming out that the club had actually said no, actually he's not the player we thought he is.
All I know is that we weren't in for him. Fact.
Okay.
So we didn't put a bid in.
Right, fine.
So you can argue the rights and wrongs of that, but we just didn't.
Could that be because we can only do one transfer at a time because we've got a complete and inept clown running our transfer policy?
Exactly right.
One transfer at a time. We were like, that can't be true. And it was like one next. You're like,
I love the way we took so long to do transfers that literally started with Palace saying we want 50 million. And 8 days later, I was going, okay then. Well, and then Leicester saying we want 80 million plus 5 million add-ons. Yeah. And then 8 days later, we're going, okay then.
Is that the worst bartering you've ever seen?
No, it's not. Fellaini was. In the start of the summer, he's worth 22 million. You know what? We don't want him for that. Well, you can pay 27 in 3 weeks instead. That's at least we've come down from that. But at least we're paying the same. More.
But there was a reason for that. The reason was he wasn't our first choice, and we thought we were going to get other players. We thought we were going to get Herrera. We thought we were going to get Fabregas. There was talk of Khedira. I don't know how realistic that was, but it was obvious that we had something else we thought we could do. But with like Wan-Bissaka and Maguire, we were obviously straight in for him. And we ended up paying exactly what they wanted.
March.
Yeah, in March. And they wanted 50 million and we paid it.
Fucking July.
Yeah. That's what I mean. It's like, what was the negotiation?
That was 4 months.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, for a player that wanted to come.
How long do you think it takes to write a contract? Do you think it's mostly copy and paste?
Yeah.
From like the last...
I reckon there's probably...
Do you think Maguire's going, my name's not Alan Wan-Bissaka?
Give it.
We tried to do a replace all, but one of the Wan-Bissaka's was spelled wrong.
Yeah, it was a double S instead of a double K.
What's going on?
Yeah, I don't think it takes that long. And surely there's teams of lawyers that you're paying through the arse for.
In a day.
Yeah.
Like we saw with Falcao or whatever. Like people...
We are, like... proper comedy club, aren't we, with transfers? There was the fax machine, there was the imposters for Herrera. All right, whatever it was.
It was a password protect. Can we set this fucker? Like, can we stop saying it was a fax machine?
No, don't spoil it. It's better. Come on.
A password protected email file, which is genius. Because Ed sends over the email. There's all the paperwork you need, boys. And then they open it and they go, "What's la password?"
You know what the password is, yeah.
Capital H and a 4 at the end.
No one knows it. It's probably password.
But that was the script with the old De Gea transfer. That was either a monumental fuck up, which is embarrassing, but because it got the result we all really wanted, is genius. And I don't know which way. It's both at the same time, I think.
There's that, and the other one was the one you told about, summer with Herrera. Do you remember the imposters?
I don't know about that.
But it wasn't imposters, was it? It was people that the club had hired. Yeah, the people the club had hired just rocked up at the... and the arrogance to do that as well. Like,
they just turned up at the club and went, we're here to sign under Herrera.
The offices of La Liga.
All right.
So they turned up... That's what you have to do. You have to literally put... And I think it's cash, which is bananas. Because, like, these are £40 million transfers. Just guys, they turn up wearing sunglasses and free old dolls. It's like out of a fucking film, innit? But that was supposedly... I think the club rubbished it afterwards, but I think Andy Mitten mentions something like... No, that was, like, on behalf of the club, like...
Well, right, you see, you're reading all these favourite stories. The fax machine and the imposters were two of my favourite sort of examples.
I think the club tried to distance himself from after they fucked it up. The club was like, nothing to do with us.
Don't know who they are.
Do you think people just walk around with fucking...
That was also the 10:30 Fabio Contral bid, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That summer.
Oh, I remember him.
Yeah.
How good was he?
Like 10:30 at night, we thought we were going to buy him.
Where did he go after Madrid?
I don't know.
Back to
He's still there, isn't he?
He's only like 20.
Do you remember when he sat on the bench when he wasn't picked?
No.
He got his kit on once and was sat on the bench when Mourinho was manager, and everyone started like talking to each other and pointing at him. And then there's video, you can pull it up, of Mourinho like starts laughing, and then they call him over and tell him he's not in the squad and he has to go and leave. Because he just literally put his kit on and fought it.
Yeah. Like, you can't just sit. Can I not just sit there? Fuck, you have to actually leave. Leave the ground, you
right.
arse.
Let's do a quick little ups and down votes poll. Do you think... Give me an up vote if you think we're going to get Bruno Fernandes.
I'm not voting so hard.
Down vote if you think Woodward's probably going to fuck it up this week. I mean...
How do you vote on a phone?
It's just the same.
Find a way to upvote on that.
So give us your ups, give us your downs.
It's voice activated. Thumbs.
Oh, that is. Alexa, thumbs off.
I've been mildly impressed with what I've seen of him so far. He's certainly not going to replicate those numbers. I mean, fuck my ass if he does.
Even if he's half of that.
If he does, oh my...
The number, that's all I can go off. Like.
Even if he does half of those numbers, no, he's still miles.
If he gets 10 and 10, that's for me, that's the standard in the Premier League. For a top midfield, if you get 10 goals, 10 assists, you've had a really good season. That's like...
Well happy.
Yeah.
Unless you know he's Paul Pogba and you still get criticised.
Yeah, even if you get 15 and 15 like Pogba did last season, you're still shit.
He's belting now. He's absolutely belting. What was Hazard's finger when he was the fucking greatest player ever? No, don't write it in the comments. Like the video or downvote the video. Don't just put it in the comments, you maniacs. I'm not counting them.
Here you are.
There's that one. All right, that's an up. There's a down. There's an up and a fire. There's someone pointing like that. No, not them ones. The likes and dislikes on. You know what I mean. Come on, it's not your first fucking YouTube video. And if it is, welcome.
Rashford's just enjoying the Hazard's best season, hasn't he? In terms of goals.
Not in the league.
I don't think he's far off, though.
No, he's not far off.
Was he on 14 goals? Rashford?
Yeah. In the league, yeah. Second leading scorer. Which is nuts, because if you'd have said that at the start of the season, Rashford's going to be joint leading scorer in the thingy, you'd have been like, behaviour.
And then if you'd have said, and third will be...
Danny Ings.
Danny Ings, mate. Doing bits. That is ridiculous.
Especially with how shit Southampton
are. Even Vardy was like... As up and down.
Yeah.
Vardy, Rashford, Danny Ings, top three. This is
like even like Tammy Abraham as well.
Sam Allardyce's way.
Yeah, no, that's a good shot. I didn't think Abraham would get anywhere near the numbers he's got, to be fair.
It's good. There's a lot of Abraham's good player. Like, England have got so many good right backs and strikers. If we could just swap them for a few central midfielders, we'd be fine.
England don't have a midfield going into these
Don't have any
Euros.
midfield.
You're looking at Harry Winks and Jordan Henderson.
Jordan Henderson, yeah. Who
Probably like Ross Barkley or something.
Yeah. That's
And even Ross
shocking,
Barkley would be
innit?
going like...
I don't deserve to be in here.
And I'm lot fucking about with the transitions.
That was so quick. That was so guilty. No. That was like one of my kids. No,
It's
wasn't me.
Like your kid's got his mate round, isn't it? We're just
Yeah.
playing with a transition.
Behind the camera, we've got fucking Cameron and, oh my God, and Joe McGrath from Radio fame. No wonder you're unemployed now.
Oh.
Not so, all right,
Not
you're
so much.
unemployed in March then. Fuck's sake. Like, they're just fucking about with all the transitions. I do apologise, everybody.
Welcome to.
Welcome to the
commercial, isn't it?
Welcome to the fucking 80s with these two
Stretford
clowns.
Paddock sales
Jesus
edition.
Christ. Do you know what? When I thought you having a show was mental.
Yeah, that's what we
Them
get
two
with these
fucking donuts
these
behind
two
the camera's
fools,
even
innit?
more mental, isn't
Yeah,
it?
exactly.
Fucking hell.
What about Jack Grealish, Steve?
He's got a wonderful head of hair, hasn't
He
he?
has, hasn't he? One of the best sets of hair in the Premier League. I'd say.
He's third in chances created. I think he's got 53 chances created this season.
Yeah.
If
Oh,
memory serves.
That's an embarrassment.
Which is just above James Maddison.
I thought it might be, yeah. Just below Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Just so you know, Cam, you're being paid to do this.
I ain't got anything I can throw that's not going to damage my entire fucking office.
Yeah, and that Peronaise is too valuable to
Peronaise
you.
are definitely got. The rum's going to fucking murder someone.
Yeah,
Highlight. Good shout.
yeah, lob a highlighter out. Tell his broke.
Anyway, give us some questions in the comments.
Commentos.
What is wrong with him?
Oh, by the way, if you're watch tonight, we've got a late night live coming at 10 p.m. I've hit the prime time now at 10 p.m.
Have you moved him forward now?
forward now, he trusts
Oh,
me.
mate.
He's like, you're going
He's
in
gone
at
from
11 p.m.
BBC 3 to BBC 1.
BBC 2.
BBC, yeah, right, fair enough, yeah.
I don't want me nan watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was 11 p.m. Now it's 10 p.m. tonight. We're going to be going all over all the transfers, any breaking news, all the stuff for the papers tomorrow. It's going to be a bit of a laugh, isn't it? It's going to be really fun tonight. I'm excited. I haven't got any special plans. It's just fun. Bruno Fernandes, mate. He's happening.
Anyway.
Any comments?
Some people talking about Jude Bellingham. Any news? I reckon there's probably a lot in that. I don't think that's the sort of...
Is this a 16-year-old lad from Birmingham City?
Normally is when it's just a random name that pops up. Isn't it?
It's a bit of a Dan James no-lose scenario, that one, though, isn't it? £12.5 million, I think he was quoted for a 16-year-old. If he never kicks a ball, it's not the end of the world. And if he does anything, it's a bargain.
Right. Word is that there's two signings that are likely in for United in this window. I think it's probably safe to assume we're working on Bruno Fernandes, whether we get it done or not.
Yeah.
I'll go around all of you individually. We'll start with young Ryan, and I'll say, who do you reckon, or what position do you reckon the second one is?
I reckon it's another centre mid.
Should be, really, shouldn't it?
You think so? I'm not sure who though. That Havertz has been quite mentioned. But besides that, maybe striker as well. But I can't really think of anyone.
We've not been linked to any strikers, have we?
Since
Except
Haaland.
Yeah. And was it then purely opportunistic for Haaland because Ollie's worked with him and this, that, and the other, or is there something in training he's going, I need a X?
It was an easy link to make though, wasn't it, to be fair?
Yeah, and I think we were interested in Haaland.
Yeah.
Oh, we definitely were.
Definitely were. Like,
definitely
it's
were.
come out before and since that we
But didn't
were...
want to sign him anyway?
Yeah, never liked him anyway, actually.
Don't
They
even
asked for too
want
much from
to
us.
play in the Champions League?
They wanted loads of money from us for this player that we wanted to buy. How dare they? That's a bit of a strange one, wasn't it? Coming out saying that people wanted paying for him. We're not giving you money for him. We want him for hardly anything.
How
Otherwise,
was
you
he
can go
Dortmund game for him
Dortmund.
then?
20 mil.
Was it though? I've never actually seen a fee even mentioned for him.
But you've also got to remember Raiola's involved.
Yeah, that's true. So he's taking 15.
And do you know what, though? Like,
Yeah.
the word on the street was that they wanted some sort of release clause putting in and also something else a bit funky. Let me get me. Have a look what was scripted.
While
Yeah,
you look that up, my question with that is, I know it makes the club look a bit weak, you like acting as though like we're a selling club and all that release clauses, whatever. But isn't there part of it where it's like, what? So we just don't get a player we wanted because, like, we might have had him for 3 years.
It was a
What's
word.
Do we not? I don't know. Is it
Future
worth
buyout from the next club was a problem. So some sort of release fee.
it? Yeah.
Yeah, it was a sell-on fee or clause. Sell-on clause, which is... Do you know what? On one hand, though, get him over the fucking line.
Yeah, that's
Worry
what I
about it in the
thought,
future.
Yeah.
What's the? Do you think it makes us look a bit weak, suggesting that we need to sell him for whatever?
I think the thing that made it look weak for us was the amount of stories that were coming out about how Dortmund had done, sort of pulled out all the stops, made a transfer that United could have done. They made it happen by, just little sort of easy wins, getting the players from Dortmund to message him, getting Puma involved, the sponsors to make him a special kit, just daft little things that made him sort of feel like welcome. Yeah. And then obviously, pains me to say it, but doing what they needed to do, Raiola, keeping him happy, reaching out to his dad, reaching out to Haaland's dad, just making it all seem like an attractive prospect where United may have had a slight bit of arrogance.
With a weird shoulder.
Yeah.
Right? Do you know the party that they took him to?
Yeah.
That's what you've got to do with Raiola.
Yeah. And it's like, you'd think we'd learn from the whole Fergie, thought it was like oil and water and all that shit. Yeah. Just get on with him. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know he's not a nice guy, but he's a necessary evil, for want of a better expression.
Yeah. But is he a necessary evil, though? Or is he an evil that you can just sort of play without?
Well, to be honest with you, I mean, you made the point, Steve, about everyone was sort of saying, I think there becomes a justification of like, well, we don't want him to hurt Greenwood's progress, and we've got Marcus is only 22 and Anthony Martial's only 24 or whatever. But you made the point that when Marcus was coming through, he had 3 strikers ahead of him. When other strikers have been at the club, whether that's Ole, whether that's Teddy, whether that's Andy Cole, Dwight York, whatever, there's always been other strikers there, and yet if you're good enough, you'll get enough games and you'll be effective. So there was no reason why we couldn't have Haaland and still keep Greenwood happy and still have Marcus doing his bits and still Martial.
It's like Karol Poborski after a Euros for a lot of money at the time, when David Beckham was sort of breaking him through into the team, and a bought player like that will get played over an academy prospect because of the fact that you've paid money for him, and you need that to work for the bottom line. David Beckham forced his way in,
especially at striker. Like, how many strikers are there like floating around Europe that left Man United because there were too many players ahead of them that have been good enough to play for United? There's not many. I mean, even thinking across the whole team, PK is one. Like, that's about it, isn't it? Like, and if you're good enough, you'll force your way to the front of the queue. Like, if Greenwood's good enough, he'll beat Haaland or whoever eventually, and if not, then he'll go.
And let's face facts, we could have quite easily had Haaland in our squad this season and played him and Greenwood and Martial and Rashford. Yeah. There's many times when our attackers have needed rested. Martial's missed a big chunk of the season. We had Rashford playing down the middle when it's obvious he's far more effective on the left-hand side. So this idea we couldn't have fitted another striker in without being detrimental to Greenwood is just a nonsense. And I think there's an element of us, or certain people, or some fans just trying to say, oh, well, we didn't want him anyway. Of course I would have had Haaland. Yeah. Absolutely. I'd have been buzzing if we'd have got him. Yeah. It was a win-win, because he's a 19-year-old, even if it doesn't work out, so what? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And from what we've seen,
sign all the players.
All of them. Just get them all.
And like Greenwood's had, I think, 15 Premier League appearances or something, and almost all of them have been a sub. So it's like you still get loads of appearances. Yeah, you get plenty of minutes, but you're not going to start every game.
It's just frustrating because it could have as well just made everything a little bit happier, for want of a better expression, because he's got a connection to Ollie, so there's that there. So maybe Ollie's not under as much pressure as he was, because people think, well, Ollie's one of the reasons that we've got this sort of wunderkind. So let's keep Ollie. Let's keep Ollie. Yeah, I'm fluent in French. And then you've got a player that was sought after by a lot of clubs, so you're still sort of showing we're Man United. We can still get these deals done. And you've just got a player who's going to score loads of goals for you. So everyone's happy with that as well. It's just...
Can you imagine we added both Bruno and Haaland?
That's what I mean. And it's just annoying because...
Gidiometer's just gone through the fucking roof.
Gidiometer.
Well, this is it. I don't mind missing out on players to Barcelona and Real Madrid, but we should be able to beat Dortmund to some of the
While I'm talking about measuring devices and the implements, I was thinking about getting a brandonometer. How about we talk... Put it on me, please, while I'm talking. Thank you. There we go.
These two fucking...
I know, stop fucking touching the fucking transitions and fucking do your job.
Toasted marshmallows in the background.
Anyway, so I'm thinking of having a brandonometer, right? Which I'm going to have a tally on one side of goals and a tally on the other side of red cards. Because I think that's going to be... You can't have yellow cards because that's just going to win.
It'll break.
Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. Brandonometer, goals on one side, red cards on the other side. And
what if you don't get any for 2 years?
What, red cards?
Either.
Well, he's gone.
You'd have said the same about Rowo. And
I would have said the same about Rowo, but I am saying the same about Brandon.
I think he's going to be like...
What if we get like a sad face for his red cards? Like, and then a dead happy face, and it's like a little climb. Like,
I wouldn't even
He should really be on 2 goals already.
Should be.
And maybe 1 red card.
He had the VAR thing, didn't he, with 1 red card at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to be like Andy Cole with goals, with red cards though. Once he gets 1, he's just going to end up getting like... the floodgates are going to be opened.
Players seem to go through phases in their career where they get like 3 or 4 in 6 months, don't they?
Yeah, Fernandinho got on loads for City.
Yeah. Yes, mate.
Red cards in 6 months.
Yeah, it happens.
I don't think that was that most...
Statler and Waldorf.
That wasn't the most outrageous thing I've ever heard.
What? This is an idea for these two. Was fucking well, man.
4 red cards in 6 months.
Right, yeah, you can, that happens, doesn't it? You can pull up some stats there.
No, I'm not going to pull up any stats. where players will get sent off and then they come back from suspension and get sent off quite soon again.
Cantona, Keane, Vidic, right? Those were players that got sent off frequently. I think all of them had like 4 or 5 red cards. Keane might have had like 8, I think. But do you know what? You needed that in their game. And I think Brandon's going to be the same. I think that he's going to have a few red cards.
You don't want to lose that edge.
No, because if like Adama Traore's running at him on Wednesday night, you almost want Adama Traore to go, he might fucking boot me.
Yeah.
He might actually.
It's worth noting, and no one preaching to the choir here though, he's not just a thug, is he, that goes around kicking people. And I think some people just get a bit giddy with that sometimes. Think, oh, he's just, he's got an edge again, but he's obviously...
Keane gets tarnished with the same brush.
Yeah, exactly. The talk now of Keane and some of the drivel that I've heard that he wasn't that good at football is probably the most outrageous idea that's floating around the internet, and that's saying something. Yeah. Because Roy Keane was one of the best midfielders I've ever seen. And it wasn't just because he ran around kicking people, he was just amazing
he had
all
that
round.
Edge that kept our team on its toes and the opposition team on its toes.
Yeah.
Because there was always the threat that he might absolutely mull you.
Yeah, of course. Just ask Zinedine Zidane, who absolutely drops his pants in the Stade d'Alpe.
He lost his head, didn't he? And loads of players have been sent off 3 times in a Premier League season, by the way. Get over it, lads.
I'm not here.
All right, for one, just add him up then. For one, excuse me, just a second. Victor Wanyama, 2015-16. So, and that's not even number 1 on the list. There's loads of them.
Was Frank Sinclair, did he not get sent off?
I would have thought so. Yeah. Cheers. Thank you. Next, easy.
I might be wrong. Forgive me if I'm wrong, Frank.
I do forgive you. Madness. What are we doing tonight, lads? I tell you what, we've talked way too much about football on this, haven't we?
Yeah.
This is the most heavily, densely populated football chat we've ever had on Howson Brew.
Flavour biscuits you go to?
Flavour or brand?
Like milk.
Well, I say flavour or colour. Okay. Because it annoys people when I say that. What's your favourite colour?
Does a wagon wheel?
Flavour.
Is a wagon wheel a biscuit?
No.
You
absolute chav. Wagon wheel.
You chav. You absolute chav. What's the
chav in them shoes?
What's the chaviest biscuit?
The chavvy wagon wheels.
Do you think?
Mate, that just stinks of, having your wedding at Greg's.
Wedding catered by Greg.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Subway platter.
No, I'm not into wagon wheels at all, mate.
What are you into?
See, I'm boring.
Cameron.
I'm really boring.
Can't tell me it's jokes. I can see your hand on it. Fucking hell.
I like ginger nuts.
A bit basic, though, isn't it?
I know.
That is a bit basic.
They're just coasters.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are basic. I'm sorry. I don't know
crunch
why.
cream's not a bad biscuit, though.
No.
Too creamy. I don't like them ones where it's like a burger. Do you know them burger biscuits? Where it's like...
Yeah, like an Oreo.
Cream, I'm not a fan of burger biscuits.
Oreos are really overrated.
Joseph, you do my fucking head in.
That's my favourite one, that one.
That's his best one. What biscuits do you like?
I'm a bit boring, mate. So I'm very much just a plain digestive and a cup of tea.
Fucking hell. Jesus Christ.
All the biscuits in the fucking world,
fucking big brother,
all the biscuits you can fucking go to, and they're digestive.
Yeah.
They go well with a cup of tea.
I'm sickened.
And a glass of milk.
I'm sickened.
How come you never see chocolate-covered ginger nuts anywhere? Because they'd be spectacular, wouldn't they?
Don't know.
I'd love that. Would you like that?
Right to move.
Chocolate covered. I don't know. I quite like it.
It's still based on the A6.
Yeah.
Are it?
Yeah.
How fast did he answer that then?
Biscuit boy in the background.
Have you fucking bit?
Hey,
have you bit?
He goes out and takes photos, doesn't he?
Can I do the tour again, please? I filled my loyalty card.
They're the only bitties in the country that can do chocolate, so they do the chocolate digestives and they do penguins.
And the chocolate.
All right, if you didn't hear that, Joe Smith from radio, but not for very long.
Other Joe Smith.
Yeah, sorry,
Joe McGrath.
Joe McGrath. You may have heard off the radio, but you won't be hearing on the radio for very long because they binned him.
They binned all of
All right, they binned all of them, but they did bin him. Right, so he's saying that the McVitie's that's in. Does it count as Stockport that day? 11 June, innit? It's on the way to Stockport. It's the only one in the country that does chocolate, so that's where your penguins are definitely getting made, and that's where the all the chocolate covered ones are.
I just made that up, by the way. So.
Right, and he just told me that was a lie.
I love it on penguins. How they give you the little joke on a penguin. And I like a lollipop stick with a joke on it as well.
Are penguins biscuits, They're not chocolate bars.
Put them as a biscuit.
Ooh,
a biscuit, yeah.
I don't know it's a weird, funky bit of.
Because there's a wrapper and it's like, I don't know. I feel like I'm having a treat.
Yeah.
Penguin.
It's probably more crunchy.
Do you know what you need to say is? I think you need to start telling birds on a night out. Maybe not you.
Not penguin birds.
Yeah,
flightless birds.
Flightless ladies. You need to be saying that you're the joke writer for penguins. I think that's a top chat up job.
Yes, that'll work.
What's your favourite ever chat up job that you've told people?
Can we stop using the term chat up job because it sounds so gross, by the way? Go on, what?
Right, you need to come and get on here, you fucking helmet.
Do you want a film?
No, I'm not listening to you until you come and sit on set.
Going to go in the middle of the film.
That's it. Joe says that when there's a film on ITV, he plans where the adverts are going to go.
You do scheduling for adverts?
No, that's a lie.
That's really sexy.
That's also a
it's
lie.
not true. That's his go-to. One time, me and my mate pretended we owned a IT company to see if these girls fancy us. Actually, IT isn't that sexy, is it?
No.
So didn't really work that well.
One of my mates used to say that his dad owned Ryanair because it's called Ryan.
See,
The only person called Ryan in the country. It must be him.
The problem I had was obviously when I was dating, it was before all these apps.
Right.
So you couldn't do Tinder and sending dick pics and all that. So I had to draw them by hand and dish them out.
Post them.
Yeah.
Did you?
It was really
Did you draw around the real thing?
Did you do like a flick book of
yeah.
There you go.
Right,
There's him getting on it.
You put it on the table, put a piece
This
of
is
paper
what
over
could
the
be
top
yours tonight.
and did like a rubbing of it with charcoal.
Yeah, it didn't last very long though. I got nicked.
Yeah, that's a shame, isn't it? I don't send dick pics anyway, so we don't have to worry about it.
Well, that's what I mean. It passed me by.
I mean, we could go into some of your activities on here, but I think
Better not to, innit? Let's talk about this.
give it another 3 months.
Fucking hell. To be fair, yeah, the late night live's going to have a fucking triple X section one night where he brings in his things, should we say?
Things.
Don't call them that. They're women. They're human beings.
That's wasn't more.
What are you doing tonight, Ryan, mate?
Probably what I've done for the last few nights. Be in bed by 9 o'clock and watch some shit on Netflix.
Fucking hell! Digestive biscuits, plain tea, bed by 9. Live a little, man.
Is everything all right?
Come here, give me your hand.
No, of course it's not.
All right.
I'm sweet. I enjoy
Probably
it.
just stay at home.
Are you not watching Love
Are you
Island?
enjoy January?
No, fuck that.
Hey, come on, mate. Get involved.
So what the fuck?
Get involved in Love Island. It's mint.
Do you like Love Island?
I watched that last year and I didn't enjoy
Well,
it.
you give me dirty looks for you never even watched it, so how do you know?
Yeah, you are a bit of that.
Hey.
Who's a bit of a dad? Confirmed.
Yeah, he's a real dad.
Just a bit.
A literal dad. Why Love Island, though?
Because it's meant once you get into it, you get into it. I get emotionally invested in it. I get angry and everything. I do. I got home a couple of years ago and Mrs. watching it and I was like, what the fuck is this shit? But then you start getting into it, you start getting angry and like, oh no, I hate him. Or I'm like, yeah, I hope they win. You do. You do, honestly.
I have watched on Netflix this weekend? Preppers. Wow.
Oh, I told you about it, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
How good is it?
Mate.
Doomsday Preppers on Netflix. If you ain't watching it, you ain't living.
One of them, they go to this...
Preppers, what's it about?
Basically,
People who are preparing, and so they
at
ask
the end of
them,
the world.
what particular doomsday scenario are you prepping
Is this a
for?
documentary?
My
No,
name's
it's
John
like
and I'm
a
prepping
TV
for
program.
the Mount.
Yeah, it's like documentary
It's real.
style.
These are real people, that's what I'm getting at.
Do you think they're all real? Right, okay. Right, so one episode, they're like, oh, here's a little couple which look inbred as fuck. I wonder what they do for a living. I just said they look it, I didn't say they were it.
Easy.
Right? What do they do for a living? Oh, they breed bearded dragons and have a sex shop. And I'm like, what the fuck? And the guy converts all of his cash into silver. And when he's getting deliveries, and the guy's like, right, that's $2,700. He's like, do you take barter? And the guy's like,
do you take barter? And then the guy's
Barter?
like, yeah. Oh,
what the fuck are you talking about right now?
Instead of giving you $2.5 grand, I'll give you this truck. And then just shitloads of like coins,
silver coins,
old quarters.
All right. Where can I buy fucking concert tickets?
No,
with these
but you
coins?
can swap it for another version of the thing you've just given me.
I admire that. I admire that people have just said, you know, this money thing. I'm not into it. I'm not doing it.
Well, that's the thing. Gold.
The next one,
Go on.
I'm sitting there watching the next one, and I'm like, here we go, what's going on here? Oh, is he meeting his... He's got a mail order bride!
Yeah.
Oh my God!
And she is not prepared to move to a 3-acre pasture of land in the middle of fucking nowhere. She was like, I moved here from Colombia because it was meant to be safe. And this guy's like, there's going to be an apocalypse, you are never safe. And she's
but they're also all preparing for a different apocalypse, which is what makes it fascinating.
I'll take it they're all American.
Mental. Yeah,
and
American
they are
as fuck.
very American.
Oh, and the sex toy bearded dragon ones, they've got more guns than the British Army.
Yeah,
they
got
are
a lot of guns.
insane. So that is my currently new
Have you seen that 15-year-old kid who's kitted out with arm swords yet?
Not yet.
Watch it, love it. One of the best.
They're outrageously good.
Yeah, and then at the end they rank their preparedness for an apocalypse out of 100.
Did you see the guy who was like, we've got redundancies?
Love that guy.
So he's got a thing where he's got all the way down to like, I'm going to pull a ninja sword out on you.
Yeah.
And his escape plan is we've got road, we've got rail. Quit it! And we've also got, we can all hide in a boat, right? Now they get a cam net over them, and they're on a boat, and it's just one guy dressed in a ghillie suit, which is like a full sniper thingy, and then two lots of people on a river, and I was like...
And then the amazing thing about that is his wife has got an identical twin, and he's like, she moved in with us a couple of years ago, so even women-wise, we've got redundancies. Like, if my wife dies, I'll just take her sister. What? You can't do that. She's got some choice in the matter. Unbelievable. And you see that guy who's got like this $2 million ranch, and then his mate comes up who's an absolute nutter, and they're in this like hidey like tower thing, and he shoots. They're proper like, we're prepared for anything. We're prepared for anything. He shoots this gun, and it goes off near his ear, and he starts crying, and he throws up on the floor. He's like, you fucked up, Steve.
It's almost parodying it.
You fucked up, Steve.
Honestly, like you're watching it going, mate, is this real? This can't be fucking real.
Doomsday
Preppers,
right,
watch it.
I'm going to give this a go.
Yes.
It's better than Love Island.
Yeah, it's kind of is like a Love Island, if you love the idea that
maybe
the world
they should
ends.
amalgamate the two.
Oh.
Right. Love Island Preppers.
Doomsday Island.
Right, Doomsday Island, yeah. A bit like Battle Royale.
Oh,
that'd be amazing.
You could amalgamate any two. Joe, because when I'm scrolling through Sky overnight, right, I always, when I see Banged Up Abroad, I think it's Idiot Abroad.
Right, okay.
Every time. I go, oh, fuck's sake. Every fucking time. But if you could amalgamate two shows, because imagine Carl Pilkington in jail abroad. What happened? He was trying to import 3 kilogram of heroin in the base of a fucking suitcase. Now he's fucked. Now that is a telly show, isn't it? Right, so if you two, or you three even, you could amalgamate 2 shows together, what would your shows be and why?
I'd do X Factor and 24 Hours in A&E. And you have to sing to get saved. Like the surgeons have to decide if you're good enough at singing, they'll operate on you. And
That's
if not,
really
you just die.
Great idea. What would it be called though?
Blown Away.
Yeah.
There you go. That's a title.
Oh no, I'm blown away. That's such a good show.
Yeah.
You're in.
You know what I mean? It's like, yeah. Thank you.
You're in. I don't know what I'd cross it with, but I always like Penn and Teller's Fool Us or whatever, where you have to do like magic tricks in front of them, and if they can't see how you did it, you get to go on their Vegas show. So if you cross that with something like fucking
Naked and Afraid.
Naked and Afraid. No, Naked Attraction.
Yes.
So you're allowed one prosthetic part. So if you put a massive knob on and they're like, no, that's a fake knob, that is. And if it's not, you get to have sex with both of them. There we go.
Ryan.
I've just been trying to think over now, and Man vs Food is definitely one.
Oh yeah.
With Adam Richman, not with the new fella.
Yeah, obviously.
I like the new fella. It's wacky.
Let us know in the comments what's your 2 amalgamations.
I can't think what I'd put it with, because I was thinking of some sort of prison programme.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I can't think of a name of a prison programme.
60 Days Inside.
Something like that.
Ross Kemp on Prison.
Shit, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Man versus Food. And it's Ross Kemp and Adam Richman go around and try.
Whoever can eat the most gets released, regardless of what crime you did.
Yeah. And if you don't, you get a t-shirt.
He's a serial killer, but he can tuck bloody snap away.
Look how
he's out.
He just
did, and the thing slides open. He's like this feral murderer just leaving the prison.
What about Match of the Day?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot who was one.
Steve.
Flip's sake.
Come on. What about Match of the Day with some football analysis?
Someone says, speak football, it's getting boring. Right, now I'm going to double down.
We spoke football for ages.
Match of the Day and Lost.
As long as Gary Lineker's stranded on an island on his own,
I didn't watch it.
Hear from him again,
Did you not?
No.
The first two series are excellent. After that, it's just like, oh, there's more people on this island. Oh, there's even more people on this island. Oh, this isn't a deserted island.
The Polish Wonder says, why are you asking us for our opinions? You don't read the comments. The irony. Jeff says Prison Break. But with what?
Prison Break.
Prison Break and Match of the Day.
Yeah. Can
Alan Hansen successfully get out of the prison yard?
Or maybe
getting shanked. Or
maybe he wants to be there like, he's trying to saw through the bars there. That is an absolutely diabolical technique. You're never going to get out of a prison like that. That's like that. That's what kind of thing.
Like analysis.
Alan Hansen analysing that.
Formerly of the radio, has texted me saying, come down with me, which I think means come down, dine with me, and fake taxi.
It could.
So do you have to rate them out of 10 afterwards?
I mean, it still called "Come Down with Me," but just a very slight spelling change to the the first word there. Yeah, you could also have Strictly in a similar vein. No, actually, I'm not going to say that. Fake taxi, and Strictly Come Dancing. Again, just change the one word there. Strictly Come Dancing, and then you have to. That's enough now. Move on then.
Next, 4
in the early afternoon, mid-afternoon now, late afternoon, if anything. Oh, I've had enough, lads. That's tucking me out. That fake taxi and come down with me. I didn't like that. I didn't like that whatsoever. Actually, we shouldn't have read that out.
Well, it was you that did it.
No, you read this question out.
All right, okay. Breaking Bad with Bake Off. Ooh.
Breaking Bread. It could be called. Anyone? Cheers, Joe.
Fake dining. Yeah, there's loads in there. Yeah. Come Down With Me is awesome. I can never get older when that guy decided to suck off the whiskey. It's the maddest scene. You've never seen it. And he just goes, I'll just taste it.
Yeah.
And you're just like... Did you not see the camera probably 3 fucking feet from you?
Right, that's going in late night last night.
Is this everyone's reaction to the Bruno Fernandes news?
Come down with me, whisk.
I just love the sore loser on Fade. Come Down With Me.
This is my favourite.
The one that actually kicks off, you've won, Jane.
I've got a picture of him on my Tinder profile.
Yeah, it's quite.
He just really opens it and goes,
dear Lord.
It's me. And then he just skips second and third and goes, you've won, Jane. I hope you're very happy. You've ruined my night so you could take the money. I hope you spend it on some lessons in grace and decorum, because you got about all the grace of a reversing dump truck with no tyres on it.
It's easily the best.
Dear Lord, what a sad little life.
Sad little life, Jane.
And then she goes,
the sarcasm in the announcer on it.
I don't get it. He goes, well, you wouldn't.
Well, you wouldn't get it. Oh, love that.
The sarcasm in the guy that's doing the announcing's outrageous.
Oh, yeah.
And literally everyone's copied that.
Yeah.
Like, that's what Love Island, Celebs Go Dating, all them lot, all copied that from Come Down With Me.
Let's wrap it up there. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Joe will be doing a transfer show later. But look, this is your first time. Don't get mad when there's no transfer news in there.
Do you know what? That Bruno Fernandes one, there was 15 minutes of transfer news and just 5 minutes of whether Jupiter's taking the piss as a planet.
Right. Why? That's the sort of shit that you're coming into.
It's been flinging rocks at us, mate.
Right.
So unbelievable.
If you're thinking you're going to see serious analysis, no. Tomorrow morning, come back for that.
No,
we'll do that tomorrow morning.
Don't tell them what to. They'll love it.
But if you're in for absolute, utter fucking carnage and a couple of lads having a laugh, tonight, 10 o'clock, Stretford Paddock.
I'd love it if the Bruno Fernandes story confirmed whilst you're on air.
Yeah, while he's in the middle of a fucking one of his kind of fucking moments.
That's the seagull, that's not me.
Grabbing the fucking seagull by the neck with his fucking
whisk, whatever he's got planned for tonight.
I'm going to get a whisk!
Sucking whiskey off a whisk. And that's, Bruno Fernandes is announced.
Angel Delight, actually.
Right, we're fucking going. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in a bit. Laters.
Bye-bye.